Well, as Namita said, as a byproduct of the US education system, I can vouch for a lot of this thing that Namita talked about in terms of diversity on campus, in terms of what's needed. One of the things is, at the Paras Education Foundation, one of our missions is let's make education funding accessible to everyone in the best possible way that we can. And so one of the things that, often is a question is, in crazy times like COVID that we have right now and uncertainty, etc., what's not changing is the data. And if you look at this chart, US is still the #1 destination for Indian students, right? Because of the quality of education, because of the factors that Namita talked about, right? We do have a pretty high intellect of Indian students coming to the US and really contributing and getting a really great education. So as you can see, the numbers are just growing, right? This is obviously this is some of this is impacted by COVID, but assuming things settle down, right, and they are going to settle down at some point, campuses are going to be back at full throttle, right? They're going to be back at capacity for both undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate programs, right? So I think keep that in mind, right? There's a lot of uncertainty with the politics, with the COVID, with everything going on, but people still value a US education, and they'll continue to value so with good reason, and a lot of which we'll go through today. So one of the things that we think about is, I know a lot of you students from all over the world who've joined. Thanks firstly for taking the time to join. But you may be thinking about, hey, should I be taking a loan, or should I be trying to find funds to fund this education myself? One is, when we talk about loans, we want you to start focusing on the quality of education, right? Not the financing. I completely agree. It's a very important thing. You need to worry about money, but that's where we want to offer, make sure that you do understand that there is actually a program that can help you worry about the financing and help you actually focus more on your education. Really, what should I be studying? The quality of education. Am I choosing the right majors? Am I really excelling in what I want to do to fill your aspirations and your dreams? How do we get that mission across to you guys in terms of understanding, there's multiple ways of funding your education if you really are passionate about something, whether it's molecular science or chemistry or economics or finance, whatever it is, really helps you focus on that. The second is really being able to lock your financing, right? There's a lot of fluctuating rates, and the rates, will continue to go up based on interest rates in the US, and the political situation does hamper and affect rates. But really thinking about, how do I lock my financing to avoid a huge fluctuation? There'll still be some fluctuation, but at least it's predictable. You'll know exactly what's going on. And then the last piece is, and I'll talk a little bit more about this as we go, is, if I had the option of doing my education, really studying in a subject that I'm really passionate about, and then not worrying about my repayment for 10 to 15 years, that's great, right? Now I've been able to fulfill my US dream, but also fund it in a way that's affordable. And we have the loan programs that we're going to talk through really offer that flexible deferment options. So as you guys are thinking about this, just know that there is help available. So real quick, I just want to give you a quick overview, right? There are two types of loans that we can help all your students with. One is US denominated loans, and the second is Indian rupee loans, right? There's several differences across the two. So on USD loans, which is a lot of what we do, and that offers that flexible deferment options, it's between 2 to 7% interest, right? And if you compare that with Indian banks, I'm sure all you guys are aware, it's probably half or 1/3 the interest rate at the Indian banks, right? Second is the application time. 2 to 3 weeks application, your loan is sent directly to the university. The money, you don't see the money. It's a direct transfer from the lending institution to your university, whether it's a bursar office, the financial aid office, or the registrar's office. It goes directly to them, and you're notified, we've got your money, you're good to go, right? And so I think that ease of process really helps, right? In 2 to 3 weeks, it's the end-to-end process. Now, we do know in India, in Indian loans, it does take a longer time, between 8 to 12 weeks. The other big piece right now is, when I was coming here, I was also thinking about, like, hey, will they just cover my tuition? I have to still worry about my dorm, my food, my extracurriculars. Do I have to still worry about all that myself? And these US denominated loans really helped me for the 100% of my expenses. So whatever was mentioned on my I-20, I got the full amount, right? In terms of what I wanted to apply my funding towards. I know in Indian loans, sometimes it's between 50 and 60% of the expenses that can be funded. So keep that in mind as well as you're thinking about, okay, what are my options? We talked a little bit about repayment flexibility, so we'll go into that. And then the biggest thing, and this was a big deal for me and my family, is some of these US loans, denominated loans, did not require collateral in India. I know some of the Indian loans, and with good reason, need collateral, right? And some of the Indian loans are great for the purposes and some of the universities that you guys are considering. So I wanted to give you a real high level on some of the key features on what these loans are, right? So these US denominated loans are with cosigner, and they're available for all US universities, right? For the full amount, as I talked about, 100% of the amount that you're looking for. So, for 2 years, maybe 50,000, 20,000, 60,000, 80,000, whatever it is, you will get the amount for the full, for your full amount. And this is very important. It's actually for any major and for student of any origin. So I know we have some participants today from Africa, from Asia, from different parts of the world. This is all available to all you guys, right? This is not just for Indian students. The second piece is this is available for all levels, undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate, and PhD, right? So as you're thinking about it, just think about, hey, money is there, I can access this, it's available to you. The other piece is, I know some people are not everyone's considering a US education. So we do have loans available for other countries on a case by case basis. We're happy to work with you and figure out which ones are available for you. In crazy times like this, people are always asking us, like, hey, my school's going hybrid. Oh, I'm actually going to go online only. Will this loan help me for an online version only? So the answer is, regardless of what the instruction model of school is, all these loans are fully accessible to you. And so your university will tell us, hey, here's kind of the model we're going after, and here's the amount that we need. Depending on what the university certifies, that loan is available to you, regardless of the instruction model. The other piece we talked about was flexible repayment. Between 5 and 15 years is when you can get, and even further, you can actually extend and get your mortgage, your loan to a repayment. And again, this is without any mortgage or collateral. So think about this, right? You're getting a loan at 1.5%, 2%, 3% loan with 15 years of repayment time, right? Without actually putting any collateral or mortgage in India. Now that's a big deal, right? So I think about like that accessibility that we want to provide all the kids is really important as a mission for Paras, and being able to provide that in the way in 2 to 3 weeks time, really the end-to-end process. That's what we've been doing for 15 years, right? And we've helped over 10,000 students till date in helping them. One of the questions we always get asked is, hey, do you guys also provide Indian loans for universities within India? So whether it's Ashoka University or any other university in India, we do have Indian loans starting at 5 lakhs or above for INR loans. So my nutshell on this is, think about wherever you're from India, whether it's a small town like Jaspara or Jammu Kashmir or wherever it is, or you're from a large metropolitan city like Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, this actually really equalizes the playing field for everyone. And that's really what's important as a mission for us is, just because you come from a very rich family, you can take this, or someone coming from a very poor family can also have access to the same funding, the same amount of the loan. So these are a few things I'd love to kind of deeper with you guys on an individual session if needed more information. The other question we ask is, how can Paras help for financial proof for me to show for admission and visa? So we provide a sanction letter, and that can be furnished to actually obtain an admission letter from the US. The second thing is our bank loan approval letter can be shown to actually get your student visa, right? And this is really important, right? The student visa is like, hey, do you have the right funding in place, secured, in order for me to give you the visa? And our US bank loan approval letter actually shows, hey, he's fully funded, the funds have been disbursed to the university, he doesn't have any outstanding amount, he's good to fly to the US. And this is a big deal. And then the last piece is the loan approval letter can be sent to the US university to show proof of funds. So as Namita said, a lot of the times when you're talking about two kids, hey, this person has all the funding arranged for and is done, versus someone else who says, hey, I need 50% financial aid, I need scholarships, I need need-based financial aid. There is definitely a priority that they give for someone where they don't have to furnish funds, right? And again, it's a business, right? So for them, as long as they can secure their money, they're good. So these are all services, value-added services that you can think about besides the loan, that can actually help you secure your visa as well.